What's going on, guys? Coming at you with another video here today. We're going to be going ahead and start off this video talking about GameStop drops that are coming up. Congratulations to anybody who was able to get the Surging Spark booster bundle today at GameStop. At the time of the video dropping, it'll be Sunday, so that was obviously yesterday. So congratulations again if you're able to get any, or you decided to go and get any. Comment down below on how much stock your GameStop had, and how bad it was. Was there much people in line, or did it kind of seem slower, more dead? So the first thing is next week, the 22nd, we're going to have the Black Bolt and White Flare booster bundles. They're going to be $39.99, and then if you have a Pro, it's going to be $37.99. Those will be dropping on the 22nd. Then the following, on August 30th, we're going to have the Prismatic Evolutions poster collection. That's going to be for $14.29, and we're also going to have Destined Rivals booster bundles, and that's going to be the same as any of the booster bundles that GameStop is currently having, and for in the foreseeable future they're going to continue to have. So $39.99, $37.99 with the Pro membership. Then on September 13th, we're going to have Twilight Masquerade ETBs. So for anybody who hasn't heard, real quick, there's a bunch of different sets that are getting reprints and in good amounts, and they're looking like they're going to be ETBs. So that's going to be one that I'm going to be targeting. Again, that's on September 13th, which is a Saturday. Following Saturday, September 20th, we will have Surging Sparks ETBs and Prismatic Evolutions surprise boxes. Surprise boxes will be $29.99 or $28.49. So real quick, just want to let you guys know what I'm planning on doing. I'm planning on targeting the Surging Sparks and the Twilight Masquerade ETBs. Wanted to give you guys a quick update on that, so that way you're aware of it, so that hopefully it helps you out in case you weren't aware of it. The next thing that I want to talk about is Costco. So for anybody who doesn't know, Costco is having a sale or 2 Surging Sparks ETBs and then 2 booster bundles, and it was going for $123.99. I'll try to attach a photo somewhere up in this video. Obviously it's sold out now, but I'll go ahead and try to, so that way you guys can see. And so before the drop, obviously if you have notification services, everybody was dropping it. I ended up getting in 10 minutes early, and it was cool. It had a countdown that said, you've got 10 minutes before the queue even starts. And then when the queue started, after the 10 minutes was up, it went into a virtual queue. It showed you how many people were ahead of you, how long to expect, and then it even had like a little hot dog that would move periodically, and it would show you a time that it updated. So I thought that was really cool. I hope that it would be cool if Pokemon incorporated that into their queue system, where you could. I know that there's ways of seeing it, but like an actual, just like while you're sitting there in queue, it'd say your number 55,000, and then time, kind of like estimated time, and then like it would update itself. I think that would be really great, as well as also Walmart. Any of these places that have queues. Target doesn't really do a queue. It's more of just, hey, this product's available, boom, bam, and then 99.9% of the time it's sold out anyways. So I thought, kudos to Costco for that, because I think it's a really good idea, that you can, again, see where you are, how many people are ahead of you, kind of roughly the time. So I really like that idea, and I hope that in the future, Sam's Club, Walmart, Pokemon Center, and all the other online retailers, that if this continues to happen, or whatever the case may be, that they can continue to use the queue system. Obviously what's going to happen is when the market starts to go down, then there's still going to be queues, and people are like, oh, this is so annoying, I don't want to be in a queue, and then they'll eventually stop the queues, and then you'll be able to just go to whatever website and buy the product. I really like that idea. I think that it's they've done a good job at implementing it. Um, Another thing that I wanted to talk about today is Mega Evolution. So we all have probably heard at this point that Mega Evolutions is going to be staggered release. So they're going to release anywhere from 60 to 40, 60 to 40% of the product the first time around. They're going to go ahead and drop it. And then whatever percentage, so even if it's like 50-50 or whatever is not released, it's going to be released, I think, or like in a couple weeks afterwards. Um, so when you on YouTube or social media and you hear like that there's not enough as far as like they short printed it or whatever. They didn't short print anything. If you watch some of the bigger YouTubers who have their own online stores, they're telling you that they're getting 10% more than what they got for Destin Rivals. So don't buy into the FOMO. Another YouTuber, my favorite, Mr. Pokémon, King Dodo himself, he made a video saying how he thought that the first run was going to be so much more expensive because you have the people who the rip and shippers and the first the first ones to get the grade and stuff like that, and then the second run the price will go down. Nobody really knows what's going to happen, but I would just say, like, there's no rush. Don't be in a rush. Don't let these YouTubers who make the thumbnails of it's short printed and stuff and all that bullshit. Don't fall for it. There's going to be there's 10% more. It's still going to be hard to get. Don't get me wrong, but there's still going to be. It's just going to come out two different ways. The other thing with Mega Evolutions is apparently going to be enhanced and a normal version from a couple of the YouTubers who have their own distros, and that there's a possibility that it's going to be harder to identify. So just be mindful of that. I just want to go ahead and get that out there. If you are able to get pre-orders, um, or just when the set drops, be mindful of that. That it's not how it was, where when you went on TCG Player for Journey Together or um, I don't know, any of the websites that want that you can go to, that you have in mind that you get your product from. Sometimes, if you're lucky, just be mindful to look for, depending on what you want, if what you believe is going to be more valuable or whatever. Um, that you need to make sure it says enhanced or normal before you make that purchase. And the last thing for the video for this week that I want to talk about is just Pokemon in general. So you're depending on how you look at it, there's a bunch of people who are like, now the incentive is not just keep buying, like Surging Sparks at 260 or buy Destin Rivals at 319. It's going to continue to go up. Or I'm Prismatic at 110, 120, 130, 140. That's a good deal. The narrative's starting to change on that. And if you look, so Surging Sparks was at 260. It had a reprint that everyone said didn't do anything to the market. Well, it has. And I think I don't I don't have any like concrete evidence, but I have a store relatively close to me, and since the first reprint that people were talking about, they have gotten 3 waves, and they put the product on the shelves as soon as they get it. They're a smaller store, and they have both online and retail, and they just opened their retail store. So all of the product that they get, they normally get it like on a Friday or Saturday when they do like their in store, and for months the online store wasn't getting anything, and he's had 3 waves of Surging Sparks booster boxes for 220. Destin Rivals, I think he had it for like 219. No, that was 240 for Destin Rivals. Destin Rivals was 240. So, and then now, sorry, I'm kind of jumping around, but now you have people like Nostalgianomics, who a couple months ago was saying that, yeah, Surging Sparks, not sorry, Surging Sparks, Prismatic Evolutions at 140 ETB or 120, whatever, That's a good deal. But he's like, I'm buying them all up. Now, if you look at his videos, the narrative's changed. Now he's not telling you to buy ETBs of prismatic. Now we'll get into that real quick after in a minute. Um, but he's not buying ETBs of prismatic at 121, 130. He is buying cases. If, whatever. Of course, he gets deals. They all the people, the richer get rich and the poor get poor. So what a case might be like 1,200, 1,300 for the ETBs, he's getting it for like 980. And if you don't believe me, it's a couple videos ago, depending on when you watch this, that he made that comment on. It's like what he's collecting for August of 2025, depending on when you find this video. So everything he's collecting is cases. Paldea Evolved. Paldea Evolved 151 and uh, prismatic cases. That's all what he's doing is, and he did say 151. He's buying everything of all of it as much as he can of it, which is like a no dub play. I think if we all had $1 million, we'd all put it in like 151 and Evolving Skies and prismatic and call it a day and not ever have to worry about it ever again, right? So what's happening is Pokemon's not messing around anymore. And if you watch my previous video about Pokemon, the part two, um, I stated that Pokemon. This isn't just my opinion. This is from Alpha Investments from Rudy, the biggest uh, seller, of everything: Magic, Pokemon, Weiss, One Piece, everything. He, again, he knows people inside these actual companies. So he got an email saying that uh, Pokemon is pretty much circumventing distros and LGSs. Now, of course, yes, there's still LGSs, um, online stores, distro. They're still going to get product, right? But they are getting way less product than what they're used to because distro has been upcharging, uh, online stores, LGSs, the people that they provide the product to, and therefore those people have to upcharge to make a profit, to support their business and their employees that they have, and it's not allowing for the market to go down at all and self correct. So Pokemon is what they're doing is there's massive reprints for Twilight, Surging, Prismatic. Um, I wouldn't be. Journey Together is kind of weird. They may do a reprint. Who knows? Because it's not a lot of people sets. I personally wouldn't sleep on Journey Together, so I will be, when the bubble crashes. Not when the bubble crashes, but when the bubble pops and things start going down. And I'm going to give it a little bit, but I am going to plan on going into Journey Together because it's always the sets that people don't like that they turn around and they like. Trust me. If you're gonna see this. This is what's gonna happen. Is people like have been hating on Dragonite, right? Say that the artwork's stupid, that whatever they don't like it. Well, again, if previous video you'll see SAR or SIR that Dragonite's gonna come out. If it's a banging Dragonite, like super great artwork, everyone's gonna go, "Oh, I love Dragonite! Dragonite! Oh my gosh, I that yeah." So that's the thing is one of the things I'm starting to do. Of course, I'm waiting till the beginning of next year ish to start stacking up. I'm gonna let the rest of the year just kind of play out. Again, get new sets when they come out, as long as I can without paying an arm and a leg, because I'm not going to, and then start stacking up next year. Um, but with Journey Together, um, a lot of people are crapping on that set, and that's fine. Like let them do that. Let them sleep on it, and then especially if they don't reprint it, because there are good cards in that set. Um, and so I think that's a good play. Is if you can get especially if we when we have this bubble pop and then stuff starts dipping, anything below MSRP. If boxes go even like 160, I, let's just say 160. Let's say they go to 160. I'll be loading up on those. 120. That would be the set. Honestly, that it's gonna like if when this bubble pops, it's gonna crash the hardest. So who knows? Um, what the bottom is gonna be for that. But to get to the point, if you notice, majority of new stuff, even Scarlet and Violet, is going down. So how they evolved, it's been going down. There's supposed to be, so and I didn't look into it, but there's supposed to be some retrace, and it's going back up, climbing to 400. We'll see about that. Um, but everything is appearing to be going down. Um, so especially the newer stuff. So uh, Twilight, Surging Sparks, again, Journey Together. Who knows? Destined Rivals. I think it's gonna be a minute before we get Destined Rivals, but I think we're gonna be getting some decent amount of Destined Rivals. So I would not. I would cautiously say to stay away from Destined Rivals, unless it's like a Pokemon Center ETB or something like that. I don't think Pokemon Center ETBs and stuff like that are going to be coming. They could, but other than that, I would wait. Booster boxes, all that stuff, because everything is either leveling, like flatlining, or it's going down. So the only thing, so be cautious of that. The other thing is be super cautious of singles and graded cards, but mostly graded cards. So for anyone who's not keeping an eye on the market, obviously Prismatic is just tanking. Surging's not really going anywhere. Twilight's not really going anywhere because they got announced reprints, and so has Prismatic. But especially like Paldean Fates, and even that Charizard is not going anywhere. So I think we're looking at some market manipulation on the Mew. It's gone from 300, 350 to over 500 for a raw card. Now, don't get me wrong. I think it's probably going to go down as one of the best cards for the Scarlet and Violet era, but I don't think we're looking at anything close to the Umbreon VMAX. I like the Umbreon from Prismatic. It just does something for me. This the Sylveon. The other cards I don't care about from Prismatic. Um, but I don't think Bubble Mew is going to be number one. I think right now is a bunch of people, not a bunch of people. It's gonna be a bunch of people. People are putting a bunch of money into that card for the amount of growth that it's having. Now, yes, it did go down, but to be climbing the way it's climbing, I think PSA tens are going for like $1,800 again. It's looking like Greninja's back over to 1,000. Uh, everything's climbing for the tens, and they were going back down. So I would say anything Sword and Shield, more than likely it's a safe bet to go ahead and just go ahead and grab them in a PSA 10 if you can afford to. But Scarlet and Violet stuff, especially stuff that can still be reprinted, except for Paldean Fates, I would just wait. Honestly, that's what I'm doing. This, I think we're starting to see the downward spiral of this bubble. It's looking like I went to Walmart and I've seen a bunch of people Journey Together got restocked, the sleep packs, and there's tons of them. So I think if we can just continue, if Pokemon can continue to reprint, the hype's gonna die, and people aren't gonna be able to make money. They're gonna leave. So then, really, you only have like the true collectors, and of course, you have the true investors who could give a shit about Pokemon. They just want to make money off of it, which is to each its own. But at least we won't be having all these people who like they don't give a shit either way. Like they're just here to screw you 30 different ways and make money, and they're only here like a year out of every 5 years. So for me, I'm just stepping back. You know, I'm just stepping back. I'm not even collecting anything. I've got a list of things that I'm ready to pounce on when I can. Um, and then that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait till things start to die down, give it a little bit, and then I'm going to start getting on stuff because I think the Mew is not going to be an $1,800 card, 1,000, but at least short term, not like in a couple years. Obviously, it's going to go up, but um, there's too many of those cards out there, and I think a lot of it is we have too many people in the hobby. So for me personally, just I'd be careful with graded cards. Don't get into the FOMO. Don't go, oh, I'm seeing it's going up. I need to, and so with the Magikarp. Here's the thing: when people leave the hobby, there is going to be a fraction, 50% less than what is currently in it. That's 50% less people who are buying Bubble Muse or Prismatic or Destin Rivals or Team Rocket's Moltres or Black and White or there's gonna be product, there's gonna be cards, and people aren't gonna just. You're gonna have some people that are gonna sit on it because they don't care, they're in it for the long run, and then you're gonna have those 50% of people who are just trying to mad dump to the bottom because there's something else, shoes or whatever. So my advice, just chill, don't buy into the FOMO. There's gonna be plenty of years to be able to buy product, all the product you want, and yes, everything's gonna go up, but it's not going to go up at these crazy rates. It's not like you're gonna go. Let me think about Destin Rivals for a week. You turn around, you could have gotten it for 200, and now it's at 250. That's not gonna be the case. So that's my advice. Do what you want, but that's my video for this week. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a comment, like down below. Let me know what you think about it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.